chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe, Roger to go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He gets shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team, all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard.
What's up, everybody? It's Bengals and Brews. I'm one of your co-hosts, and Greg, you're the other co-host, and the main host, Dale, has got a doctor's appointment, so he didn't make it today at our 3:30 show. Because it's 3:30, we're doing a show, and Dale's not here. So it's up to me, and it's up to you, Greg. Savage Greg.
We got this, man. We going savage today, bro.
That's a nice T-shirt, Greg.
Dude, shout out to you, man. This is awesome. I mean, this T-shirt's so cool. So what became this T-shirt was when Pork Chop showed me the other shirt I got the duck shirt. I looked at myself, a picture of myself wearing a T-shirt and a duck shirt. I'm like, man, that shirt's really cool. So little did I know, man, in the mail a day or two ago, it got sent to me. Shout out to Chop right here. This shirt is so sweet, man. This is maybe one of my personal favorites.
If you go to our merch store, let me first of all, hey, hi to everybody in the chat, and thanks for joining us. Strangers in there. Royalty, Parker Blake, he's in there. Jerome, Crip, Matt, and everybody. Thanks for joining us. Let me look Chris. Up. Let me find the thing here where I can show, and it'll show our merch store, and then people can go there and they can check out that shirt. Here's the shirt you're talking about right here. So you see in this shirt where Greg, the Duck Killer, is wearing that shirt that I made on Photoshop. He just mentioned to me one time, and he said, man, I like that shirt. I'd like to have that shirt. And then so next thing you know, I fucked around on my Photoshop, and I made the shirt, and I sent it to him. He didn't know. And then he got pissed off.
No.
He got pissed off. He said, Pork Chop, quit sending me goddamn shirts. Anyway, this is our store. You can go to our merch store at bengalsandbrews.sellfy.store, and you can check out, you can get the Duck Killer shirt. You can get I just got a couple on here. That's the Mad Scientist Lou. You can get that one. There's a couple other ones I made, including this one that I'm wearing.
Or Loco. There we go. The Loco shirt. That is Pork Chop, man. That needs to be made into a koozie, bro.
It should be a koozie. Why didn't I think of that?
Well, I thought it was a koozie at first, man. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, dude, that'd be dude, there we go.
I need to make a koozie version.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Pork Chop, that'd be sweet, man.
You're my idea man, Greg. You tell me the ideas, and then I'll try to make them happen.
Dude, the Four Loco koozie. That would be awesome, man.
So anyway, that shirt that Greg's wearing isn't live on the thing, but if you would be interested in that shirt, let us know in the chat, and I can just go turn the thing on, and you can go there and get it for like $25. Right. We don't even try to make any cash off of it. $25 pays for the print on demand store, and then it might be like $1.50 or something extra. It's not like we make any money off of it. We just like to get stuff out there that people like. So if you're interested in a shirt like the one that Greg's wearing, you want to be a savage with the Bengals and Brews Can Crusher head logo, just let me know in the chat, and I'll go turn that thing on. You can go to the Sellfy store or merch store, and you can get it. So anyway, man, Greg, I found out today Dale wasn't going to be on the show on my way home from work, and I came home and I went to bed, And I woke up, and so here we are, and I'm sure that the Joe Burrow contract has been signed. I stopped on my way home, and just to celebrate the signing, I got me a piece of ass.
Oh, what kind of piece?
This yellow cake with
yellow cake. Yeah, I always try to go for
icing.
2-layer cakes, but yeah, I'll go for that too sometimes. I got plenty in the freezer still.
So
my favorite flavor is yellow cake with chocolate icing, but I like every other flavor though.
Greg, we're like fucking twins.
I know, right?
I love yellow cake with chocolate icing. They had the yellow cake with the white icing or chocolate cake with chocolate icing, and I like the yellow cake better.
No, the coconut you got one time. I'm not a coconut. I don't. It's the thing. I don't hate it. It's the thing with me with coconut. It's it's not the taste I hate. It's the consistency of coconut I don't like. That's a good one. Another one you need to try: German chocolate cake. That's another good one.
German chocolate cake is good. It's not my first choice though.
It's awesome. Yeah. No, sometimes you don't have a choice. I just whatever I see there that's on a good deal, I take it and I run with it. The only one I would never get is angel food cake. I don't care for that.
Angel food cake's good if you're on a diet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Parker, love to see it. Love to see you in the chat, buddy, out there in Utah. Thanks for joining us. Chris on here. He just popped in here. Houday from New Jersey. All right. Let's see here. What was I gonna? Oh, I don't know, Greg. Anyway, we were talking about the piece of ass, and I got it, and I woke up, and here I am. I woke up. I turned on the show. Give me my good news, Greg, so I could eat my piece of ass here.
So Joe Burrow, look, his parents are in town. I mean, what news we saw last night? I was hoping it was going to happen before the show.
Wait, what? It didn't happen?
Didn't happen yet.
Ah, son of a bitch.
It didn't happen yet. Now, Dustin posted something. Lapham was on Rotham and Ice, and he indicated Bengals felt like they were negotiating with themselves for a minute, made 2 offers, and complete silence on the Burrow end. Burrow just said it. Burrow just right now said in his press conference, this is what Burrow says. Here? Yeah, that right there.
All right.
So, obviously, that doesn't sound like a good sign right there, but Burrow just now said in his press conference, this is what he said. And I think the press conference is still going. This is where I want to be my whole career. We're working towards making this happen. You've seen what the front office and what Zach has done in their time here, and I'm a small part of that, and I'm excited to be a part of that. We have a great people in the locker room who grind every day and that are excited to showcase their talents, excited to do it in the city of Cincinnati. We have the best fans. This is where I want to be. He says it's the last thing on his mind right now. I mean, look, he will get signed before Sunday. I have no doubt in my mind he will.
Well, you finished reading early, Greg. What about the part where he's telling everybody to go watch Bengals and Brews 3:30 shows and then Friday night show?
And I left that out.
Doesn't he say that in the press conference?
Yeah, I left that out.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
We thank Joe Burrow for his endorsement.
Like I say, they've been talking about this for a while. So Pork Chop, I have a very good friend of mine. It's a friend of my brother's. We were in a separate group chat because remember, how we deal with on the shows, people worried about the Burrow contract. I was just at the last end. I just couldn't take it. And a very close friend of my brother's who I consider a friend myself, very good guy. But he said randomly in a Sunday chat, I just couldn't take it anymore. He says, "Oh, I'm getting nervous, man. What if the Bengals are too cheap? What if they go off and don't do this?" And so I just didn't know or anything. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. I said, "Are you kidding?" I said, "Are you effing kidding me? You're seriously thinking you're comparing the Bengals to the past?" And my brother was like, "Greg, man, why are you getting so harsh?" And I'm like, "Look, man, I just can't take it anymore. I'm tired of fans worrying. It'll happen. I have faith in the system. It'll get done when it gets done."
Right.
And so I am not worried about it. The only thing I'm worried, the injury, if there's one thing I'm worried about a little bit, it's him just now practicing fully this week.
Right.
Back from the calf injury. I am not going to lie. I'm a little concerned, but as we all know, Joe, man, we'll see what happens Sunday. But Joe, anything with Joe, if Joe says he's fine, then he's fine.
Man, I'm a little slow here. What's going on Saturday night? My brain hasn't woke up. I can eat that cake Saturday.
I have no idea.
That's when the deal's getting done is Saturday night, Crip.
I don't know, Crip. Crip, you're in. I don't know.
Last hour. Like the clock's ticking. Ding.
Right,
ding,
exactly.
Ding,
exactly.
Ding, coming up till midnight. Ding, ding.
Yeah, I guess so,
ding.
Chop. I guess so, man. So,
Yeah. I'm going to have to put that piece of ass in the freezer, Greg. So me and you both, we're going to have a piece of ass in the freezer.
Right, exactly. Now, with T. Higgins.
Should I take that piece of ass to work with me and maybe eat a piece of ass at work?
Dude,
if it happens?
You eat that ass whenever you want to, man.
I mean, I want to have that ass right there so I can eat that ass as soon as the contract's signed.
Exactly, man. You eat that wherever you feel. You ever read the book Green Eggs and Ham? You can hit here or there in a house.
I could eat it in a boat. I could eat it with a goat. I could eat it in a moat.
You could eat it. You could eat it while doing a Pandemanian zoo.
I could eat Joe Burrow's contract signing ass anywhere.
There you go. Exactly.
Hey, so here it is. It's Wednesday, Greg. It's our last Wednesday. It's our last Wednesday until the football season kicks off. All right. Now, let's not look past tomorrow. Tomorrow night when the Detroit Lions travel out to Kansas City and kick the fucking shit right out of Kansas City in Kansas City. Yep. That's going to be awesome. Start off the season tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, I know a team that's playing that I like. I like them, Greg. Matter of fact, I love them. I love Cincinnati Bengals. And I wear a hat that says it so everybody knows it. Oh, and they're playing on Sunday, and they're playing this piece of shit, ghetto-ass mistake by the lake. They're going to go up there, and they're going to correct everything. Yeah. They're going to show them boys, and they're going to give them the what for. I'm talking about Cincinnati and the Cleveland Browns getting it on Sunday when we get our respect.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know what? I'm not going to say his name. That quarterback of theirs, he's going to say there's fireworks. Just do all the talking you want. Browns fans, just do all the talking. I don't care anymore. You want to keep talking?
They're good at talking.
Go for it. You guys are good at talking. You guys win the offseason. Pork Chop, how many years in a row were they the offseason winners? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah. They
keep winning the offseason. I don't care. Go for it. It's all I can say. So like I say, I have this mentality now. Believe me, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Pork Chop. I always get generous before the first game of the season, to get in the mode. But you know what, man? In the past, even in the adult years, when we made the playoffs 5 years in a row, I always had this mentality. Okay, just expect a loss, so don't get your hopes up. That's how I always been. But now, man, I got the mentality now. We're gonna come in here. I don't care if it's at my house or at anybody else's house. I'm going to kick your ass. I don't care where, any place, anytime.
Yeah, the expectation now is a win. And no matter who we play, the expectation is a win.
Exactly. That is the expectation. Like it or not.
Expectation everybody in that locker room, too.
Exactly. So, obviously, in the past, last time we were at Cleveland, which was Halloween night, things did not go so well there, obviously. So we beat Cleveland last year at home, but Pork Chop, we have had issues in the past at Cleveland, not going to lie.
Right.
But you know what? That's gonna change Sunday.
Hey, somebody put the all-time record out, Cincinnati versus Cleveland, though, and it ain't a problem.
Yeah, no, someone said
Cleveland more than Cleveland's beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, I saw that. Some Cleveland fans said, "Oh yeah, the Bengals have always had a hard time beating us." And somebody pulled up the all-time record. It was like 52-47 Bengals. So, get your stuff together. By the way, here's breaking news outside of the Bengals. Nick Bosa has agreed on a 5-year, $170 million contract.
Hey, he did sign 5. We were just talking about that because one of the attending doctors last night is he's from California. He's a San Francisco fan.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about Bosa. Those guys are in trouble, man. I saw something last night on X about their salary cap hitting next year. They are fucked.
Dude, 5 years. 5 years, $170 million, 122.5 guaranteed, highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
Well, you know what? They are all in this year because next year they have to get rid of all these people because they're way over their cap for next year.
Oh, absolutely. So, and by the way, we will have the highest paid. Hopefully, the highest paid offensive player will be announced soon.
You're right. It could happen any minute. It could happen while we're on here. Hey, if we send Joe Burrow a link, he might come on here and pop on here and announce it himself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, it'll happen for Sunday. I have no problem saying that. I don't care who quotes me. I just don't care. I know I've been wrong before. Obviously, I still owe you the sandwich, Pork Chop. I haven't forgotten about that.
We'll get it.
You're getting it. Trust me. You're getting it. Dude.
I know. I was real heated about that sandwich and thinking about it all the time, and I kind of got used to not having it now, Greg. So I've chilled out a little bit.
So anyway, let's talk about the keys to the victory for the Bengals.
Well, hold on. Let's address Chris's thing here because I was going to say something about that. He was talking about a little bit upset if T isn't extended also. The way Joe was talking all offseason, he wants everybody here, set the bar kind of high, and I agree with that. I was going to say something about Mama T. She was on Jim's show last night, and everybody went fucking crazy on X because she said, what was the quote? Like, I'm a grown woman. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
Dude, I love that.
That was her quote.
That was awesome.
And that's what, you know what? That was in response to T telling her, like, Mom, what? Take that thing off of Twitter. You know, don't say that on Twitter. And she told T, I'm a grown woman. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. But people went crazy. And I told Mama T, I went on there and I commented when she was apologizing. I said, Mama T, I said, you come on Bengals and Brews. I said, you can drop the fuck word 4,326 times. We don't care.
Hey, we don't care. We don't care. You know,
that theme song from Yabi Assad off the mat.
Also, I'm going to say is about Miss Higgins. She is just so supportive. She gets hyped. She's just so passionate. She's so happy for her son. You see her at all the tailgates. She takes pictures with the fans. I'm not offended at all by it. I just admire her passion she has for her son.
She's my kind of people. She's my kind of people.
I mean, she's just so proud of her son. She's just so passionate. I am so happy. I have no problem with it all whatsoever. Miss Higgins, if you're watching this, we'd love to have you come on whenever you have
Mama
time.
T, Greg. She goes by Mama T.
That's right, Mama T. Yeah.
Call her Miss Higgins. She'll start feeling old or something. It's Mama T. That's Mama T. And she can come on Bengals and Brews anytime she wants. And she can drop the F-bomb. And I'll tell you what, we can even make a game out of it. We'll take a drink every time Mama T drops the F-bomb on Bengals and Brews.
There you go. I'm fine by me.
So anyway, now back to the Cleveland Browns, the shit stain of Ohio. You were talking about keys to the game.
Yeah. So do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? Say keys to the game.
Well, you go first. Let's see what you got.
Keys to the game. So here's the thing with the Browns. I'll admit they got better with their defensive line. Myles Garrett's always been, in my opinion, Myles Garrett's been the best defensive player in the league. I know some people say T.J. Watt or even the Bosa's. In my opinion, Myles Garrett's the best pass rusher in the league the last 4 or 5 years. That's just what I think. They did get him some help on the defensive line. So one big key to the game is going to be our offensive line. We got Orlando Brown. We moved Joan over to right. This is probably one of our most complete offensive lines we had since we had Whitworth and them back in 2015. They're really going to be put to the test come Sunday.
I agree with you. That's I would have said one of my first keys to the game was my dog, Zeus, Orlando Brown Jr. Zeus. That's my dog. That's my best friend, and it's one of the biggest keys to the game is. In years past, man, Myles Garrett's been a wrecker. You know what I mean? He comes in there with his ball and chain and just whips the shit out of everybody. But this year, what the fuck's up, Myles Garrett? Hey, look who's over there now, Myles Garrett. Orlando Brown, 4-time Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's see Orlando Brown Jr. in action right off the bat against quite possibly one of the best he is one of, if not the best pass rusher in the NFL.
Absolutely. So you said Zeus also. Now, is there another key to the game you have?
The other key to the game is keeping it. Well, the entire offensive line. I guess I should just include that with Zeus, but keeping Joe Burrow upright, give that man a pocket, let him dissect this defense, and also, if I'm going to throw in another one, let's run the fucking ball. Because I think that game on Halloween that you're talking about, we ran the ball this many. Like a kid. You can do it on your fingers. This many times we ran the ball. So Joe Mixon's he's got that new offensive line too. Joe Burrow's not the only one who's going to benefit from this new offensive line. Joe Mixon's there. Guess who was opening holes for Joe Mixon in college?
Who? Oh,
Orlando Brown Jr. So get that ball, Joe. Run to that left side and go past that big giant hunk of a man and get us some yardage and run that ball, not 8 times, but how about 20-something times, right?
Absolutely. You know,
keep the heat off of Joe.
This is on the other side of our trenches. I'm not going to say his name. We need to keep the Cleveland quarterback, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get outside the pocket or anything like that. That's just keep him in the pocket the entire game as much as you can.
Here's one from Matt. Boom. That's one right there. Stop Chubb.
Yes. Well, DJ Reader, I tell you what, you could argue the most important player is going to be DJ Reader Sunday.
Right. Also, it'd be nice to see if Cam Sample steps up. If he makes that leap.
Yeah, well, you know what? Who knows? We may hear some surprising news about Osai. I'm still expecting him not to play, but you never know.
Osai's not going to play. Come on, man.
Right.
That's a high ankle sprain. Even if he feels like he's 100% right now, he's probably about 95 at the most, and they'll sit him out this week. Osai is a badass, but we got Trey, we got pieces in place that can cover for Osai. It's different than Joe Burrow.
Right.
Joe Burrow, we got Jake Browning. And you know what, Jake Browning, we don't hate you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? You want to come on the show sometime? We love you. But you ain't Joe Burrow. So there's a huge drop-off. But Osai, he can take a rest. That's why we got all these defensive ends and defensive lines so that people can take a rest. And so Osai, take your time, get healed up, and then come back. But one of the other keys to the game that I was going to say is somebody that's been injured, and he's going to be back. And we really haven't seen him practice a whole lot with a full-on, like 11-on-11, but is Chidobe Awuzie. Man, if he comes back and he plays like he did before he got hurt, come on now. That's going to be one of the keys to the game because we already know Cam Taylor-Britt's going to ball out on the other side. He's taking a step up. And so you get those two out there, come on, man.
Yeah, and that's a good point, man. Because Amari Cooper, he's still quiet. He's still a great receiver. Mark Cooper is. I mean, and there are other secondary receivers we don't know a whole lot about. Elijah Moore, I know he didn't get enough playing time for the Jets, so he's still got great speed. Donovan Peoples-Jones, for some reason, he does bad against everybody else, but he finds a way to get good against us. And David Njoku, in my opinion, is still a great tight end. I know he's had some up and down years, but there's still so our secondary is definitely going to need to step up. But I'm trying to think. One thing we need to take advantage of. I got to point this out. Denzel Ward, I don't get this. He's practicing with the Browns, but he's still in concussion protocol.
How do you practice? I don't know how that works.
I don't get that either. But all I'm saying is, even if he doesn't play, we really just need to attack that whole secondary. I mean, just attack the secondary like crazy. I'll say this about Denzel Ward. Him and Nick Chubb have just driven me nuts over the years. Those guys just gotten the best of us. But, even if Denzel Ward plays, he's probably going to be guarding Chase. Hey, Ward cannot guard all three at once.
Hey, I hope he does play, man, because I don't want to hear them fuckers cry.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we beat them without Higgins and Boyd in one game. Trenton Irwin was our number 2 receiver that game. So they can cry all they want to whoever plays, who doesn't play, but we've beaten them with just having Chase on the team where Ward was covering him one-on-one and Chase still did just fine. So I never want to hear that.
Bro, those tears are going to flow so much Lake Erie's going to overflow.
Yeah.
It'll become the greatest lake. It'll have so many tears in it.
Exactly. So I just don't want to hear – I'm just tired of hearing say, oh, well, he was hurt this game. Injuries happen all the time. That's a part of the game. That's just how it goes. I mean, just how it is, man. And I'll say this, Sport Shop. I mean, out of Cleveland, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, I know a lot of people say Pittsburgh. Cleveland is the team I can't stand the most. Just the fans I've dealt with. I've worked with a fan for like 3 years who would never shut up about him. I understand that's his team, but dude, you got to speak. Just don't speak by fantasy. Be reality with me. Kind of like how you and Kieran are with LSU.
Haha. I gotta tell you, I think that Pittsburgh is mine. I fucking hate Cleveland, but I have got this like pure hatred for Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't stand them. I won't buy anything yellow because of them.
I understand.
Except for these yellow tinted glasses, right?
No, I got yellow headphones. So I got yellow and black headphone protection I wear at work. There's no way I could ever text that out.
You're lucky that somebody doesn't take a picture of you, send it out.
Oh, man, people would have a fit with me right there, man.
Yeah, I saw these Jordans that I wanted, and they're black with yellow accents, and I'm like, man, those look nice, but I can never wear them fuckers. I can never wear them.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's another pair of Starfish ones that they're only made for women, so they didn't come in my size anyway. But they're black, but the way they do it appears to be brown and orange, and I'm like, well, nope, can't wear them fuckers either.
By the way, one thing I want to point out also, and Kieran kind of does get involved. I'm not trying to call out Kieran or anything. But remember how everybody was saying, all the Browns fans and Kieran, because of LSU, was saying how Cade York was better than Evan McPherson?
He was saying it on Saturday when we were at or Sunday. We were at his house. He was still saying it.
No, just Kieran, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to come at you, buddy, but I just want to say, I'm really calling out the Browns fans. He took him in the 4th round. We took McPherson in the 5th round. Where is this whole thing where K. York is better? Come on, I want to hear it. I'm waiting.
Man, as long as you're throwing it, let me just throw in one thing about LSU before we move on to more Bengals stuff is what the fuck with Harold Perkins playing off the ball? This man was a fucking one-man wrecking machine last year. If anybody watches LSU football, this kid was a freshman last year, came in, was a wrecking ball. His instructions were like, go get him. And he did. He went and got him. And this year, they're playing him off the ball, and he didn't do shit, man. And LSU got beat, by Florida State. And they didn't score not a damn point in the second half. I think that they got outscored like 31-0 in the second half.
So,
Brian Kelly, I know you're watching, you son of a bitch. I know you quit on Cincy, and we're all pissed off at you. Maybe that's why you're playing Harold Perkins off the ball. But put him on the fucking ball on Saturday, and let's get a fucking W, man.
Chop, I hate to tell you this, man. It's nothing against LSU or anything, but Brian Kelly, what he did to UC and what he did to Notre Dame, I'm not going to lie to you. When he said, we're going to beat the living crap out of Florida State, nothing against LSU. But, Brian Kelly, I mean, look, I'm not stupid. I understand you're going to go where the money goes. I totally understand that. I totally understand the business side of it, but it's how you do it, how you act on it. When you tell Cincinnati, hey guys, I'm staying here, we're all good. And then you leave just like that because the news got leaked. That I'm sorry, that just wasn't cool with me. And then for Notre Dame, he goes to a recruit's house, recruited a kid for Notre Dame. Then he said, I just got a quick phone call. And after 5 or 10 minutes, he's still recruiting the kid. But what's interesting is right after he leaves that kid's house, he goes to LSU. So, I mean, come on.
Well, my silver lining is, though, Greg, he can't go anywhere now.
No, I know that.
Where's he going to go? There's no better job. There's no better job unless he was like the alumni of another SEC team and he really wanted to be there and coach that team, and that was his dream. There's no better job. He's in the SEC, so there's no more moving up.
No, I still like LSU. I mean, look, LSU, the fan base, pork chop. One thing we got to do, I'll even do it myself. They say the LSU tailgate out of Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, they say that is by far the best tailgating.
Start saving your money because next year it doesn't say who we're playing, but the Bengals schedule next year says that we're going to be playing an NFC South team away. So I've already talked to Kieran, and my dream scenario is that LSU plays on the same week down there in Louisiana, and we also, the Bengals, have a game against the Saints. And so Kieran and I are going to go down there, and you could go, and we'll take a trip. We're going to go to Death Valley, and we're going to watch them play on Saturday, and then we're going to go to the Superdome on Sunday and watch the Bengals play. That would be like such a great, epic weekend.
Oh, that'd be awesome to see. I'm not that rich, buddy. But no, that'd be so cool to do, man.
Well, you got over a year to save up, Greg. You could save 50 cents a day, and then if I'm already driving down there, it's a free ride. You don't have to pay for that if I'm already driving down.
I know, pork chop. If there's one thing I want to try a po' boy sandwich, and I want to try some gumbo
and some beignets.
Dude, I do. Their food is good down there in Bourbon Street, man. Dude,
and
I've heard somebody swear.
Greg, you're going to come back with so many fucking beads around your neck because I know you're going to get them titties out.
I've heard somebody. No, pork chop. So when UC went down to New Orleans for a big bowl game, the stories I've heard, people told the stories I've heard from people. Bourbon Street, man, is something down there. I'd love to go down there just to see what the atmosphere is like down there. No, I'd love to try all the gumbo, Cajun food, you name it, man. That'd be awesome to see.
If we go down there, that's a good idea, Greg. The food is so good. I'm going to go get a reversal surgery on my gastric sleeve and get my stomach back just for that trip. And then when I come back, I'll get them to take it back out. And then that way I can be not gain all that weight back again.
Right, exactly. So I guess we should try to swing back to the Cleveland game. Like I say,
I guess we can go ahead and talk Bengals again.
Yeah, no.
We're kind of talking Bengals. We're just talking future Bengals.
Right, future Bengals. By the way,
also next year the Super Bowl's in the Superdome.
Exactly. So
you know what Joe Burrow does in the Superdome?
Wins.
He gets fucking rings. That's what he does. He wins rings in the Superdome. So
absolutely, man. So yeah, like I say, so I mean, obviously with Cleveland being a division game, that's big. So how about this? We'll go by each position and say which team has the edge by position. Should we do that?
Yeah, but my answer is going to be the same.
Quarterback. We all know Bengals. Offensive line.
Bengals. I know they got a good offensive line, man, but I got a lot of faith in my dude on the left, and I think that Jonah is going to be better on the right than he was on the left.
Our guards
with the right tackles getting paid this year. I think another one just got paid. I don't think Jonah's going to be so salty about sticking to the right.
So here's what I'll say. Cleveland has the best guard team in the league. Joel Patino, I think, is maybe almost the best guard in the league, and Wyatt Teller's right behind them. They have a good center. Their offensive line coach, Callahan, which people don't know, his son is our offensive coordinator, Callahan. Great offensive line coach. I'm going to be honest. I'll still give Cleveland the edge in offensive line, but it's a lot closer than we think.
Is that kid from Ohio State starting, Jones?
Good question. I don't think so, but you know how they said
he alone is the size of our offensive line.
Yes,
even though Zeus is a big guy, this man is. It's like watching a Game of Thrones when the mountain comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, who has the edge in defensive line?
No,
let's stick with offense. Wide receivers. Now, this is a tough one.
Oh, yeah, that's a really hard one.
No. Can we be honest? Could you argue Tyler Boyd is almost better than Amari Cooper? Or is that pushing it?
I don't know. It's probably about the same if you ask me.
All right. I'll say this. If I had to rank the receivers, Chase is like out of 10. Higgins, I'll put at an 8. Cooper is at a 7.5, and I'll put Boyd at a 7.
You're welcome to come, Matt, when we go, by the way.
Yeah.
You can come with us.
Right, exactly. So,
we'll take everybody.
It's not even close. Tight end, obviously we don't care to use tight ends much. I guess I got to give it to the Browns.
Who the fuck knows about tight end? We don't know about tight end. I mean, we got Irv Smith, but he was injured a lot. We're hoping he balls out. We're hoping he can keep it together and that he'll ball out and he'll be great. But tight end for Cincinnati, I think it's up in the air. It's right.
But tight end is right now we have to give it to the Browns because Njoku. Although Njoku, I'll say this about Njoku. For 1 year with Cleveland, he wants to be traded. The next year they give him a contract. I just never understood that. It was always he was up here, down here, up here, down here, and he's never really. They keep saying, "Oh, look at the athletic traits." He's never really shown what he could do. He got a nice contract just because of the potential. He's never exactly shown me he's a Pro Bowl caliber tight end.
So that one's kind of up in the air. We're 50-50 on tight end.
I'll still give it to the Browns just barely because but we don't know about Irv Smith what he can do yet. That's just
what about if we're sticking to the offense? What about running back? That's probably Cincinnati, right? It's probably Cincinnati, not Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a buster.
Poor Chubb. I'm really sorry about this, man. But Chubb, man. Chubb, in my opinion, people talk about Derrick Henry. I think Chubb is the best running back in the league the last couple of years.
Where your theory's all wrong, though, Greg, is once again we're going to go to my first key of the game, Zeus Brown.
No, I understand that.
Joe Mixon's going to open up he's going to open up giant holes for Joe Mixon.
Right.
For Travion Williams.
No, Joe Mixon. I'm not knocking Joe Mixon.
I don't even know. Is Chase Brown, is he even dressing for the game?
Chase Brown. I think he is. I think he should be.
Because don't they have Travion second and then Chris Evans behind him, right?
Yeah, I
Chase
believe.
Brown.
That's a good question. That'll be interesting to see if he's active on game day. But your report shot, man. I'm not saying I'm rooting for the Browns. I'm not trying to support the Browns or anything. I'm just saying.
So you're supporting the Browns. So you'll be rooting for the Browns.
Yeah, hell no. That'd be the last thing I'd ever do in my life. No, but the Browns have the edge in running back. But Nick Chubb.
I'm just fucking with you, Greg. I agree. Nick Chubb's a badass.
Yeah, so the Browns have the edge in running back, barely an offensive line, in my opinion, just barely as of right now. That could easily change.
I'm like, I hate all the teams in the AFC North, and I'm like, fuck all them guys. But there's a few players I'm like, fuck you. But if they signed with the Bengals, I'd be like, hey, I love that guy. Remember when Rodney Harrison signed with the Bengals?
Oh, James Harrison, you mean?
James Harrison. Yeah, I was.
I was happy as hell.
I hated that fucking guy, and he signed with the Bengals that year. I was like, all right, I like
remember,
that guy. He's
that
cool.
was the year. The 1 year at the Bengals was when he was on Hard Knocks and he kept flipping off the camera. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he was arm wrestling guys. Like James Harrison. Look, whether you like him or not, the guy was undrafted. He got cut by like 3 or 4 teams. I respect James Harrison as a player. Like he worked his way up. He just his work ethic.
See what happened? He played for the Bengals, and then after that, he went back to Pittsburgh and he had to retire because he had hit the pinnacle. It wasn't the same when he went back to Pittsburgh. He wasn't wearing them stripes.
Right, exactly.
So he went ahead and retired.
Exactly.
But I do agree with you. Nick Chubb has got the edge on running backs.
So offensive line. So we agree. We're wide receiver, Bengals, tight ends. We can't go 50-50. We got to say, right now, I give it to the Browns just barely and all that because we just don't know about, what. That's what I'm saying. But quarterback, Bengals, not even close. Wide receiver, like I say, right. Tight end. Offensive line, you have to admit, I got to give it to the Browns. We have the edge in tackles, but they got the edge in guard. Huh? That's what I'll say.
All right. So who's left on the offense?
I think that's it. So let's go to defense. Now, look, defensive line. Here's the thing. The Browns did get a lot better on defensive line. I think we have better depth, but they have the best pass rusher in the league. You might go 50-50 on that.
Blackout Trey's going to show up, though.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yeah, I know.
Hell, Greg. Start the barking.
No way. I want to invade that dog pound. The Tigers, my one Browns buddy actually debated that a Cleveland Brown, like an actual dog, could beat up a tiger. Give me a break.
What the hell kind of dog is that?
I don't even know. I don't care what type of dog it is. That tiger, he ain't beating a dog. He ain't beating no dog ain't beating a tiger. No, I would not. If my only option left was to be a Browns fan, I would never watch NFL ever again if that was my last option.
What happened if your mom and dad had you born in Cleveland? You'd be Browns as fuck.
Oh yeah, I would. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Thank God we weren't born in Cleveland.
Thank God I wasn't born in Cleveland, man. I mean, can you imagine having to back up Browns ownership? I mean, people like it. Like I said, that's why I could never stand forever. People saying, "Oh, Joe, why would Joe Burrow want to play for the Bengals? How come nobody said this crap with Baker Mayfield?" Well, the thing of it is, Joe Burrow was once in a lifetime quarterback. You know why people were getting on Joe Burrow not wanting to play for the Bengals? Because they were jealous as shit from all of us. That's why. They were jealous as shit. That's the simple answer. So that's it right there. People are just jealous. When they're jealous, they're going to say every negative thing they can about you and all that. But in the end, we have number 9. That's all that matters.
Hey, and what about linebackers?
Oh, why are we even talking about this?
That's it's like talking about quarterback as far as you ask me, right?
Exactly. Why are we even talking about this?
Right? We got the elite linebacking crew for the next 3 or 4 years at least.
Exactly.
We got them locked up. And then the secondary, let's just go corners.
The corners, so they got Denzel, but after Denzel Ward, I don't know who the hell their corners are.
I don't know if he's going to play or not, but I'm still rolling with CTB, Juice, and Awuzie. And then you know who's in after is DJ Turner. And then who's going to be doing the slot? Is it It's not DJ Ivy that they got backing up the slot.
I don't know, but like I say, here's the thing with the Browns. They have maybe one of the best players at each position, but they never had a good supporting cast for any of these great players at these positions they have. I'll say this: we have the edge of corner because Browns may have if Denzel Ward doesn't play, we easily have the edge of corner. But even Denzel Ward playing, okay, Denzel Ward when he's healthy, I even have Browns fans tell me you can't rely on him because he just can't stay healthy at times. And quite frankly, man, with what he's been dealing with concussions, man, I just that's scary. I don't know.
Tyler stopping in. He got a break at work. Popped in to say loves Joe Burrow. Glad he wants to stay his whole career. Also came here to say he loves you, Greg, and thanks for being awesome and great with the good weekly content.
Well, I appreciate that, Tyler, as always, buddy. I always appreciate the support, Tyler. You're a good fan. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. We appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good dude, Tyler is.
So what do we got left now? We got kicker.
I wonder who gets the edge and kicker. A guy they just traded. So let's take this logic here. Besides Justin Tucker, you could argue McPherson's the best kicker in the league. Where the Browns just traded for a guy, just traded for a guy that was about to get cut. You tell me who has the edge.
Right. I'll tell you who's got the edge. I'm going to go with Money McPherson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and as long as we're kicking the ball, what about punter? I got a lot of faith in Brad Robbins.
No, I got a lot of faith. I don't even know the Cleveland punter. And you know what, though? All I can tell you is, Chop, that Cleveland punter is going to be getting a lot of playing time.
The mustache marauder, the bald bomber, giving out free mustache rides up in Cleveland on Sunday.
Yep.
So, and then what about as special teams? I don't really know about special teams. I think our special teams got a lot of new pieces to it. So we'll see what happens. One of them is your buddy, right?
Yoshi Bosch.
Well, how do you feel like how many catches does Yoshi get this game?
Let's be realistic. I don't think he's going to be active.
You don't think he's going to be active?
When he's going to be active, I'll tell you. But let's give our final score predictions, Sport Chop. Let's do our final score predictions.
Okay. For some reason in my head, I just keep thinking 24-13. But that's the score that won me a shit ton of money. No, it's 24-17 that won me all that money last year. But 24-13 is some reason sticking in my head real bad.
I'll go 31-24. I think it's going to be close.
I like your score better. I'd like to see our offense come out and hang some points.
No, I think it's going to be a high score game. I think the Cleveland Browns quarterback, I think he could easily have a good game. It's all good. Their season is going to depend on him if he can prove it or not. That's what it's going to depend on mainly.
Tyler agrees with you on the Bengals. Says Browns 8.
I said 31-17. Okay, Tyler's going one up on the Browns. No, I said 31-24.
Maybe a 31-13. It'd be your score and my score split, and then it'll be 31 backwards is 13. So
exactly. So yeah, like I say, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I always get nervous for a divisional game, and I especially get nervous against Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie to you because I just cannot stand. If like the Bengals lose, but I find out if Cleveland lost, my day's okay. Yeah, I mean, I still want a Bengals win, obviously, but still, man, we have to win this game. I mean, it's always personal with me against Cleveland. That's just how it is with me.
Well, if history repeats itself, and for some dumbass reason, some unforeseen reason that Cleveland would squeak out a win on us, number one, their fucking fans would go crazy on X.
Remember how
they just won the Super Bowl. And then the second thing is, what happened last time they beat us?
Exactly. Remember,
we didn't lose a game after that until
Baker Mayfield. Remember when they said, Baker Mayfield's back. He tore it up. He did this. The Bengals are now on the low right now, blah, blah, blah. Came this close to winning the Super Bowl. This close, we did. So I just don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't want to hear it. You know, like I said, man, don't step on the tracks when the train's coming through.
Right. Yep. If anybody has any questions in the chat, just let us know, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Crip does have a question. Do you gentlemen believe Miles Murphy will dress Sunday? Crip, that's a good question. I think he will because of Osai.
I think he will, too, because of Osai. I think if it weren't for Osai being hurt, I think that he's got a good chance that he's going to be watching. He might join the watch party at RJ. I'm going to go to RJ.
Yeah. No, I have no idea where I'm going to be yet.
RJ Cinema, Greg.
I still don't know yet. Maybe but we'll see. I'm always a last second thinker. I don't know. But anyway, Miles Murphy, that's, like I say, did he, but like, well, he was out the first preseason game. I mean, I think we can all agree we would have liked to have seen him stand out in those preseason games. He just looked like another guy out there. But we got to we got to remember this. He's only 21 years old. Like Dale said, he's only 21 years old. He's still, I mean, the average age for a rookie seems like it's 23, literally. So he's still a young kid. He's still finding his place on this team. And the good news is, my Lutheranism's coming in. He's like a pot roast. You can just cook it slowly. Yeah. Although we might need to speed up a little bit because their size not playing. But, we'll see where I have no doubt in my mind Marion Hobby will find, and Lou Anarumo will figure something out.
I'm with Matt. Got to start fast. We got points up, man. Put them behind.
Point those. Put them.
You'll take Chubb out if you do that.
Yeah, put the points up right now. Start out with a high-scoring game. Do not let the fans control the game.
Let that idiot have to try to throw the ball. You know what I mean? Instead of Chubb running it. Put up two scores right off the bat. I mean, we score, we go out, we win the coin toss, we take the ball, we score, our defense comes out, we hold them 3 and out, then we go back in, we score again, and then we're on cruise control.
Oh, here we go. Naughty 2 Slurps says, hey, fellas, do you know the last time the Browns won the AFC North? You know why? You know how I don't know? Because they never have won the AFC North. They never have. They made it through the wild card that one year when they almost made it to the Super Bowl, but they've never won the AFC North.
They won championships before the NFL was created.
Yeah.
You know, way back in the day in 1807.
So I'll just give you Pork Chop, if I may, I'll just give you a quick rundown of this Browns fan I used to work with.
Roast.
There we go. This guy was not a bad dude, but I mean, we had Joe Burrow. I forget one of the many 20 quarterbacks they had. I forget the dude's name. He was that kid they drafted out of Oklahoma who was 28 years old. Oh, I forget his name. Brandon Weeden. It was Brandon Weeden. He already told me Brandon Weeden was 10 times better than Andy Dalton. He already said he was better than Dalton. He was all over Trent Richardson, thinking he was going to be one of the best running backs in the league. And then they traded him after a year, and Brandon Weeden was gone after 2 or 3 years. And I finally tried to convince him, are you finally going to be a realist? No. We got a great up-and-coming team. We're going to be good this year. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I admire the guy's spirit, but just be honest, man.
Greg, to be honest, let's be honest. That sounded like me in the 90s and the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? I was an optimist like every year, like, well, next year. And then we would draft something. I'd be like, hell yeah, this is our year.
No, I got no way to.
We get T.O. signed on free agency, and I'm like, here we go, Chad and T.O. We're going to do it.
We got T.O., man. I was down at training camp. I was all pumped and excited, and we all know how that turned out. But you know what, though, man? After that year, remember when we started all over, and there was the NFL lockout the whole summer. They weren't even allowed to have contact. Andy Dalton was our rookie quarterback. That was like one of the first times ever I'm like, dude, I don't know about this year. We went 9-7.
This is, all that stuff that happened before we drafted Joe Burrow is the Bengals Old Testament. Now Joe Burrow's here. He's on the earth. He is playing for Cincinnati. It's the New Testament. It's the Bible of Burrow.
The Bible of Burrow. I know that. How has that not been a book or a topic yet or something? Or like
every Bengals history before Joe Burrow. And then our Savior comes, and now it's the rest of it after Joe Burrow, during Joe Burrow and after Joe Burrow.
We need to have like a little segment called the Bible of Burrow.
Right.
We need to start. I am surprised nobody's come out with something like that.
And we could even have the Psalms chapter in there because we got our songs. Hear them Bengals growling, right? Mean and angry. That's our Psalms chapter.
Dude, absolutely. We need to do something like that, man. It's just the Bible of Burrow. Like I say, as long as you have Joey in there, I'm totally fine with it, Because remember how we were all talking about who the backup quarterback should be? I'm like, doesn't matter who our backup is. If our backup has to come in, we're screwed anyway. So, as long as we have Burrow, we're all good. So, Pork Chop, man, I wonder if – I'm trying to think. All right, let's go over – let's do this, man. Who's going to score the first TD Sunday for the Bengals?
The first touchdown on the Bengals is going to be scored by Joe Mixon.
I'll go Jamar Chase.
You go Jamar Chase? I do have – you know what? It's kind of based off of my bet. I'd like to get the first game out of the way because I did make a bet on I don't know, FanDuel or DraftKings. I can't remember which one. That if we get a on-the-ground touchdown, rushing touchdown every single game, I win like $1,000 off of my $10.
Okay, my question is, who gets the first sack for the Bengals?
The first sack from the Bengals is going to come from Sam Hubbard.
I'll go Trey.
That was the easy choice, but I'm.
You know what, man? You're right.
Coming at it, man.
If I have to get creative here,
it's not personal for Trey. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Sam Hubbard grew up here in Cincinnati, so he fucking hates Cleveland with us. He's not going to say it in public, but he hates them.
I'm going to throw a curve. I can't believe I'm saying this. Miles Murphy.
Hey, let me tell you something. Jamar Chase couldn't catch a fucking ball in preseason when he was a rookie, right? Yeah. Everybody was like, oh, my God, Jamar Chase, we drafted him so high, and he can't catch a ball. And then he came in and fucking balled out. Rookie.
I was at that. Were you at that Minnesota game where you got that first touchdown?
No, I wasn't. I
Oh,
got
I
my
was there,
I got my
man.
tickets on the Thursday night game, and then I went to every game after that.
Dude, when I was at that game, man, I was fired up. Let me tell you something, man. That preseason, remember how the XFL came and said, like, someone joked, Mike Florio said something like, because Chase said something about the stripes of the ball or something.
Yeah.
It was hard to recognize. And the XFL said, well, here, join the XFL. They have this type of ball you can get used to. And then, like, dude, I'm telling you this, man. I have family members that come at me for Bengals stuff because they live by Bengals from the 90s. That's what I have to deal with. I don't care if you're family or not. I will tell you off.
Yeah, I know. Except if it's in front of your mom, you'll tell you.
No, if it's
tell them off
whether it's
in
an
a
uncle or
nice way.
Anytime a family member, I'm going to tell you off. So at my brother's wedding, it was the day before a big game. I had this one family member who just lives on the Reds from the past. He loves the Reds. He'll cut the Reds slack when they're horrible. But when the Bengals barely lose a playoff game, he's like, oh, this is Mike Brown. Mike Brown's horrible. Why do you waste your time? The Bengals, blah, blah, blah. When he came up to me and said, so what's this I hear Chase isn't catching the ball? I'm telling you, man,
yeah.
if it was at my brother's wedding.
How'd that work out?
I wanted to yell at his face so bad. No, I love my uncle to death.
In your brother's wedding, you punched the shit out of him right in
No.
the
No. I love my uncle to death. I wanted to tell him off so badly. I wanted to get into his face so badly. But you know what? Like I say, he's a good guy. I love my family. But when you're wrong on – look, I have nothing against people disagreeing with me. But when you don't have facts or you can't report stuff – so I'm not going to say his name or anything, but another family member of mine, I was posting something about Jamar Chase on Facebook one time, how I'm all excited. And one guy's like, oh, this was typical Bengals. They screwed up. They should have taken an offensive line. I'm like, no, that's Burrow wanted Chase. This was the best player available. He's like, I disagree. Chase was like maybe the fourth best receiver in the draft. I'm like, where the hell did you read that? I went and looked at 5 or 6 draft books. One maybe may have had him second, and I said that. And you know what? I said to myself, I'm going to take a picture of him posting this on Facebook. And midway through the season when Chase was just tearing it up, I said, so you were saying – now my mom got mad at me. But no, I mean, I'm like, you know what? I don't care if my mom – I'm like, Mom, first of all, I was joking around and all that and stuff. But my mom didn't like – she's like, you shouldn't be saying that to him. Hey, he took the first swing at me on Facebook. You take the first swing at me. You better be ready for me to come back at you on Facebook. What I don't like is don't report stupid facts that aren't true.
Yeah. Hey, the chat's chiming in on who they think's going to get the first touchdown. Mark says Burrow's going to get the quarterback sneak, which he loves to do. Fiji goes with Irv Smith. Naughty Two Slurps going with Tyler Boyd. Let's see here. Derek says your T-shirt's badass. Grip Keeper says, what's up to Derek? That's Casper Dick. That's Derek's nickname. It used to be Orange Arrow, but Grip Keeper has changed it to Casper's Dick. What's this? I don't need the Mike Brown. I don't get the Mike Brown hate when you literally all the Bengals great talk about. That's true.
No,
I do. A lot of Bengals do.
Naughty Two Slurps, I totally agree with you, man. Dude, I'm telling you, the people I deal with, they're stubborn. They don't like to admit they're wrong. They're stubborn. For a lot of people these days in life, Pork Chop, it's so hard for people to admit they're wrong. They just can't stand it because they think it's a thing of failure. Just grow up. I had to admit stuff I was wrong with in life. Right. You know, I mean, it's horrible, but just grow up and admit it.
The last sentence of Crip's thing here. Carson Palmer's such a joke. Ha ha. Fuck that guy. But he was part of the building blocks that we needed to get Joe Burrow. So
yeah,
I try to put a good spin on everything. So when I look at the past, I just think it had to be that way. If anything is different in the past, if we don't get Joe Burrow, who knows who the fuck is playing?
Like you said, stuff happens for a reason. Like I want to back out myself. I will never ever physically fight anybody. I don't do that. It's more like when it comes to a verbal, like I say, but if you take the first verbal fight at me, if you try to debate me, I'm going to give my opinion back to you. You have a right to your own opinion. It just better make sense.
Right.
Simple enough.
This would be nice, too. Pick six by Hill.
Oh, yeah. First interception. I was going to ask you, who gets the first interception?
The first interception is Cam Taylor-Britt. Juice.
Dang it.
Is that who you're going to go with? I'll tell you what, man. I
got one here for you. Logan Wilson.
Hey. That's a good one too, man.
Logan Wilson. I think it's going to be him, man. I think he's going to get a big. That'll be interesting. Oh, Derek's going Dax here. We got Derek here.
Hey, that's another one for Hill. He's probably just commenting on that pick 6 comment from earlier.
Yeah, and Derek, I know Burrow has the same agent as Nick Bosa's brother Joey. I'm assuming they have the same agent because they're brothers. But yeah, no. Let's make Burrow. Let's have the highest paid defensive player and the highest paid offensive player sign the same day. What do you say, Chad?
That'll work for me, man. And I got this piece of ass I'm ready to eat.
Hell yeah, man!
Let's do it now. Let me bury my face in this piece of ass before
Listen
the
up,
show's
Bengals.
over.
Get this done. This cake can only last for so long. Pork chop needs to eat this cake.
It goes stale. That's my Burrow.
We don't want to throw food away like this. We can't afford that food go bad.
I need to bury my face in the Burrow contract ass.
He wants to bury that in there.
Yeah, look. I even got a fork so I can eat it all civilized like.
There you go, man. You're all civilized. I like that.
Pepper and salt.
Yeah.
Just in case.
But like I said though, man. But okay. I'm trying to think here. Let's see. Oh, Derek says he's got a special bourbon toast when he signs. I like that, Derek. So here's the thing. Speaking of bourbon toast.
Drive to my job and I'll toast it with you.
Yeah, so I do have some Blantons left. A little bit of Blantons left. I'm saving that when they win the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't have Blantons. What do I got?
Four Loko.
I got some tequila.
Close enough.
I got tequila. I'll have to drive home. Oh, wait, look. Look what's hiding behind the tequila, my buddy.
Oh, there you go. Fireball.
I could take that in my pocket to work in case he signs. I'll go to the bathroom, like when I'm taking a shit, and I'll do the fireball.
So wait, are you gonna have a fireball and a piece of cake at the same time?
Yeah, but that piece of ass will be fire.
That's awesome. All right, man. We'll call it fire ass.
Fire ass. Yeah, in the bathroom. I can eat the cake at the workstation, but the fireball, I probably got to hide that.
No, exactly.
At least my breath. When I come back, I'll just tell them I ate some Red Hots. It's not Fireball. It's Red Hots. And the one shot's not going to get me too fucked up unless it's Four Loko. If that was a shot of Four Loko, I'd be in trouble.
Dang, Derek's been saving this for a while. It's the same bourbon he toasted when he was drafted, and the same when they won their first playoff. And Derek, that's awesome, man. Yeah, like I say, man, I think I had the Blandons I have, Derek. Thank you for pointing that out. The Blandons I have now, that was the same Blandons when we drafted Joe Burrow. Thank you for pointing that out, Derek. So yeah, you and I both are saving it for the right occasion, buddy.
I do have a Jackpot Joey cigar in my glove box. It's probably dry as fuck, but if they sign him, I'm going out to the parking lot and I'm puffing on that bitch a few times.
Oh, dude, I tell you what, man. When I was given a jackpot, I should have done it at the stadium. You see people doing it at the stadium. What are they going to do after a game? Seriously, they're going to say, "Sir, you can't." Like everybody's like, "The heck with this. This is long in the making. Let's do it." You know, just smoke that cigar in the stadium. Who cares? But no, like I said, so Naughty Two Slurps says, I think Burrow's contract is done. They just they just working on Higgins, so Burrow doesn't want to sign until Higgins is good. I don't know if that's the case. I would like that to be the case. I've even suspected it myself. You got to remember this with Higgins. And now I know if he has another good year, his price is going to go up. But think about this. We still technically kind of have 2 years left with him. I still think they're working on it. I just think they got to get Burrow's deal done first. As much as I want to say Higgins will get signed by Sunday, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong to dear God. And if he's wrong, I will gladly admit it that I was so wrong. And that's something I would be happy to admit I was wrong, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Do you, Chop?
I don't think that Burrow's waiting on Higgins.
No.
I don't think he's waiting on Higgins to get done. And, I mean, to be totally honest, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start the season with Higgins not having a deal.
No.
And I wouldn't be surprised if next year they possibly franchise tag T. Higgins. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's like Mike Brown said, you got a pie. Everybody's going to get a slice. How big is your slice? How big is T's slice compared to how big of a slice he could have somewhere else?
But one thing I am going to point out when Burrow signs his contract is it's also said to be the highest paid player in NFL history. For all you doubters out there, you can say doubters, but never, ever, ever, ever tell me again that the Bengals are cheap. Never, ever say that. Never.
That's right. Oh, and Elizabeth Blackburn, when she was on Jim's show, said that at the Ring of Honor game, they're going to unveil something else for the fans at Paycor Stadium. She's not saying what it is, but there's a new addition that they're not going to unveil until the Ring of Honor game.
You know what, Pork Chop? I thank you for pointing out Elizabeth Black. Let me tell you something. I got to meet her. So I met her a year ago at the Taste of Bengals, and I meet her again the second time. She's like, I remember you from last year. Like, she remember that is so cool that she remembers people. I'm telling you, what you see with Elizabeth Blackburn on live, on live TV, she's the exact same person off camera. She is just so nice to everybody, so passionate.
And she is a huge, huge Bengals fan. And
yes.
I know when you're in the family, you're like automatically a fan because you're just engulfed in Bengals because that's your business. But she is a huge Bengals fan. You know, a lot of people don't know, but like her and her sister don't sit in a suite for the game. They go out and sit with the fans.
They're sitting up
in the 300 level.
Exactly. That's where they could sit wherever they want. I mean, that's what you just have to like about Elizabeth Blackburn. She, like I said, she cares about the fans. She reaches out. She's like, look, I've seen what you guys see. I feel the same way you guys all feel. I mean, besides Joe Burrow,
likes to feel the pulse.
Exactly.
Of the stadium.
I'm telling you, Elizabeth Blackburn, she would have been great on the show Undercover Boss. But how bosses go undercover. Right. She would have been so perfect for that show because,
she could have went in there dressed up like a kicker, like hey,
right. But no, she could have dressed up, and because the thing of it is, she would have been perfect because she doesn't actually just stay in the office. She goes and talks to people. She says, "Look, I hear what you guys are all saying." That is what makes if she ever became the owner. Succeeded as the owner, I would have no problem with that. I'd be more than happy.
She's going to have a hand in it. You know, the man, she gave away his age. I know I could Google it and see how old he is, but she said he's 88 years old. She said my grandpa's 88 years old.
I mean, the Ring of Honor, she started all this stuff like hiring these people to help. Remember the Bengals social media? It used to be a joke. It used to be like a simple
talked about text. That on that show too. Like
it used to be like a simple text. Oh, Bengals signed him. That was it. Like all this cool social media stuff. This the stadium lights that they do. I mean, Pork Chop, how cool were those stadium openings? Now the Buffalo game, obviously with the whole Hamlin situation, that was horrible. But before when that happened, I mean, just like the atmosphere, like the whiteout game, Pork Chop, I was stunned last year.
So was I.
That over 90% of the fans were wearing. I'm like, we're all wearing white. I'm like, okay.
It was like really close to like the pictures you see at Penn State when
my one buddy came in wearing a black sweatshirt. I'm like, dude, did you get the memo? He's like, no. That's all he had.
Was that your buddy Dale? Because Dale wore.
No, it wasn't Dale. Dale was actually wearing his black Bengals sweatshirt.
He's like,
to each his own, but
he's like, nobody tells me what to do. If they tell me to wear white, I'm wearing black. Fuck them.
Right, exactly. But I mean, to get the fan base, the where it looked like the college football game. It looked like you were at Penn State or Ohio State.
The atmosphere down there is like college football now.
I mean, because she said our goal, or one of the guys, she said, or somebody else said, our goal is to make Paycor Stadium the place nobody wants to play at. And let me tell you something, it's working its way up there to doing that. Not did you slur? Say, man, I really thank you for putting this in. Okay, what do you guys think about the stadium or getting a new stadium in the Natty? Y'all think we should get forced by the city to get a new one or what? Well, I don't think the city can afford a new stadium. I think they're happy with the stadium now. Obviously, here's what I'm going to say, Pork Chop. This is all I'm going to say. Maybe I'm just so naive with the whole situation. I know we got a big fight against us to keep the stadium here. Let me ask you this. If I knew I was going to move, would I waste my time with the Ring of Honor? Would I waste my time adding new stadium stuff? Would I waste my time with all this stuff if I knew I was going to move? Or getting a practice field, for Pete's sakes?
Well, probably not. But at the same time, it's not their stadium. The stadium belongs to the county. So,
yeah.
I mean, you live in Hamilton County, don't you?
Yep.
You're paying for it. I'm paying for it. The stadium belongs to the county. So I know the Bengals got a vested interest in it, and they probably get part of the vote, but it belongs to Hamilton County.
It does.
I'm just telling you, I went through a bunch of emotions when I heard, are they going to fix up the stadium? They're going to build a new stadium. And if Cincinnati would open a new stadium, and man, I'm like a guy that's like, football's an outdoor sport, but I'm also a guy that's like, God damn, it's cold in January. When I'm sitting in the stand, my toes are cold. I'm like, No,
I know.
I like football being played outside, but man, if we were in a dome right now and it was 70 degrees, how nice would this be? And also, I'm looking for, you know what I want? If for some reason Cincinnati built a dome, man, I'm going to the first monster truck show. We got nowhere in Cincinnati where you can do a big monster truck show. I guess they could do it at Paycor.
Well, no, I mean, no. Another thing is, I get
But
what
you
you're
never
saying.
know if it's going to rain.
No, I get what you're saying. I wish we had one like some baseball stadiums have like the option, or like the Cowboys, how you can open and close it. If it's going to be a nice day, open it up. But another thing is, if you had an indoor stadium, you could host a Super Bowl and so many more events there, like in the wintertime too.
Well, they played the Super Bowl at MetLife in February one.
Right. Or no, one year the Super Bowl was played in Detroit because they got a dome stadium. So I mean,
well, they played at New York when it was freezing ass cold.
Yeah, I think that was.
That's not a dome. That wasn't too long ago.
Right. Exactly. So you make a good point, Chop. Like I say, it is. Like I say, we got a big. I know we have a big fight coming up, but all I can tell you is, man, if we did not have Joe Burrow, if this was 5 years ago, I'd be scared out of my mind. It wouldn't
even be a question. Paycords. That's what I was going to say. The Bengals are spending a lot more money now than they have to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're spending money, making the team better. It's right. like Mike Brown said to his grandkids. He was like, "Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. Here's a big ass chunk of money. You guys, I want you to do what you want to do as Bengals fans and what other Bengals fans might like to see. Let's get some things going. Let's get the youth involved." And it's like he gave them that for a gift. Like, here's all this money I'm going to allocate to you guys. Build a social media team. Do some things with the Bengals. Get the fans involved, and let's see what happens. So Grandpa Mike is helping us out.
Dude, and Paycor, like I say, like you just said, the naming rights to Paycor, I mean, we never thought we'd ever see that happen.
That's what somebody just said to me last night at work. They were saying something about money, and I was like, they're like, where are they going to get the money? I said, where are they going to get the money? I said, well, I don't go into Paul Brown Stadium anymore. I said, I go to Paycor Stadium.
Right.
And I said, when I go to Paycor Stadium, I walk through the Betfred gate to get in. I probably sit in a seat that's called like the Skyline Cheese Coney seat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They're selling the naming rights to all that shit to build up this extra money so they can bring all this stuff to the fans. Donatos,
Sky Nato.
That's where Elizabeth shocked me. She said, my favorite pizza's Donatos. Man, don't disrespect La Rosa's, please. Donatos is good, but
look.
When people think about Cincinnati, you think, I was thinking about this after she made that comment. You think Bengals, right? You think Reds. That's our sports in Cincinnati. FCC's coming on, so a lot of people might think that. But Cincinnati's Bengals and Reds. When you go to food, number one, Skyline. That's number one. Cincinnati food is Skyline. La Rosa's Pizzas, if you're going to name another restaurant that's Cincinnati, it's La Rosa's. It's number two. La Rosa's.
No, Pork Chop, I hear you, man. I've always been La Rosa's. I get La Rosa's once every weekend, easily. I get their calzone like once every weekend. I never hated Donato's. It was always just too expensive.
Is Donato's a Cincinnati thing?
It's in Columbus. Look, and I understand this. Like,
where did it start? Did it start in Columbus?
It started in Columbus. I remember watching Undercover Boss, actually, because they did a thing with Undercover Boss. It did start in Columbus or Indiana somewhere, but not too far from Cincinnati. I get it. But, like, you know what, though? People, like, how some people say, oh, go to Cincy shirts because that's a local. Because what's the shirt? How do you pronounce it? Is it homage or homage? Or
homage.
Yeah, I'm terrible pronouncing. Sorry about that. But homage, people say, oh, don't buy Bengals stuff from homage because that's not Cincinnati. It's more Columbus. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, Pork Chop. I would have preferred La Rosa's. Not going to lie to you. But, I've always loved Donato's. It's just their pizza's just been too expensive.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Look, Pork Chop, Gold Star. Remember how every time I won Gold Star, not one. I got a Gold Star three-way. Look, I just got Gold Star. I don't hate Gold Star. I was always more Skyline. But you were always comment, like when I got a buy one, get one free Gold Star three-way. Like, yeah, because it was buy one, get one free. Hello. But you were like, Greg, I only eat Skyline. But, like, I was getting Gold Star because buy one, get one free. You know how happy I was that we switched to Skyline? You know how happy I was?
Yeah. If you gave me that free Gold Star, you were like, hey, Chop, look, I buy one, got one free, and here's the free one. I'd be like, thanks, Greg. And I do the same thing I do with pineapple on pizza. I throw it in the trash.
Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying, Porch. I would have liked to have been La Rosa's too, but at the same time, man, I love Donato's pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Donato's pizza's good.
No, their pizza's good. Like now, if it was like one thing that threw me off the NFL is
it's just not as Cincinnati to me. That's all I'm saying.
I totally get what you're saying. Like you say, you get La Rosa's at the Reds and even at FC games.
Kings Island.
And Kings Island. No, I get what you're saying, man.
And FC.
Yeah. No, you're right, Chop. I'm not debating you on this.
I wish that, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm just crying for La Rosa's. And
No,
you
dude,
know what?
I
The
wanted
funny
to-
thing is, I don't eat shit at the game anyway.
No, I don't.
eat in
I
the
was just
parking lot, and I don't have a stomach left after I got that sleeve surgery.
dude. I don't.
If I'm there, I might have some popcorn or a pretzel, half a pretzel,
right.
and like a bottle of water or a drink. That's it.
Dude, pork chop. I literally don't get on my seat for the game. I'm too nervous to eat. I ate in the parking lot. I usually don't eat till like after the game or something.
But I will, Greg, for you. The first game, I'm going to save room. I'm going to go in there and have me a Sky Natto.
Dude, you're the man, Chop. I thank you. So, by the way, shout out to Sarah Lisa for tagging me because, like, she was at. I did see her at Taste of Bengals and she said she didn't get a chance to say hi. But a Skyline Donatos booths were both set up next to one another, and she had an employee there try Sky Natto, and she tagged me. Thank you so much, Sarah, for trying to spread this around. You know, I mean,
hey, and you can get there is a Sky Natto shirt on our merch store too.
Yeah, let's pull it. Why don't you pull it up for it, Chop?
Our merch store?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have that Sky Natto thing, but I got the merch store again. BengalsandBrews.sellfy, SELLFY.store. I don't have a picture of the Sky Natto shirt, but it's pretty kick ass.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
You should go. Well, you know what? And if they go to your Twitter page, they can see where you made that video eating it. And at the end, you say, "This is awesome." And so that's what I wrote on the shirt. This is awesome.
Yeah, Chop here. I got to tell you, Chop here's doing a hell of a job right now creating shirts, man. You know, Chop, just keep it up, buddy. I mean, that's something I might like to get into, but I don't consider myself a creative person. I just like supporting other people.
It's fun. And if anybody ever tried that Photoshop, man, it's a bitch to get in there and learn how to try to do all that.
But you're so addicted. Like,
yeah. I sit down at the computer and I just sit here for hours trying to figure shit out. And I'll get it almost all the way done, and I'll think of one element, and for some reason I got to rip it all apart and start all over again.
No, I hear you, buddy, because you want it to be so perfect. I totally get it, Chop. Well, Chop, man, I think that about wraps things up, don't you think?
I think so, too. Let me make sure there's nothing else in the comments here. You've been keeping a close eye on the comments. Oh,
I just told. Well, Natty Two Step says, "I hope the city doesn't play hardball." Look, look. We're in for a long fight. I'm not going to lie, but we have a good thing going here. This is like the house that Burrow built. I mean,
the city might try to capitalize on Burrow too, Hamilton County, and maybe that's part of the thing is to get an event, a place where they can have events year round with a dome. Yes. Who knows? I mean, city might take advantage of it, and I'm not against it. They can build the dome where the practice fields are.
All I can tell you is, Chop.
There was a comment earlier. Somebody said going back right here. Crip was like, go back to Nipper while they're building that. Hell no. We're playing Paycor, and they can build. You know what? They can go practice somewhere else, and then there's room for that stadium right next to the one that we have.
Yeah.
And where they've got the practice fields, they could build a new stadium right there, and then when they're done, they could build parking where Paycor's at.
Exactly.
Or extend the banks, because there'll be a huge place between the banks and the new stadium if that's what they do. But I am so against building it anywhere off of the river. It has to stay down there by the river if they do, no matter what they do. If they build a new stadium, it has to be on the river.
Yes, it does. It does.
No question.
Well, Pork Chop, I do live in a van down by the river.
I know. I've seen you down there. I come to visit.
Exactly.
And you've been thrice divorced.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll wrap up the show there, Greg. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be back on Friday with our 3:30 show, and then I think they're probably going to plan something for Friday night, but I actually am working Friday night, so I won't be able if they do something Friday night, I won't be able to do that. It was my only shift I could pick up in overtime, man. It's been dry.
All right.
So I'm working Friday night, so unfortunately, if they do something Friday night, I have to miss that, but I'll be here at 3:30 on Friday, and hopefully Dale's doctor's appointment will be over, and he'll be able to join us too.
Absolutely.
And you know what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the same thing when Cincinnati goes up to Cleveland and whoops their ass, because it's less than a week, people.
They got to play us.
It's less than a week. Let's go up there. Let's get this